If I could turn back the clock, what would I do differently about my trading journey? So the very first thing that I would do differently is I will spend more time learning the markets. I literally spent about 1 week cramming it all in, and it was mostly all retail ideas and retail patterns and trading styles. And I crammed it all into my head. And even though I did it within a week, I wasn't 100% confident with it. I didn't actually learn it because I was so eager to trade live. It's like I gave myself a week to learn. Looking back in it, I didn't learn a thing. I learned probably some of the basic stuff, but I didn't really learn anything. I was just so eager to jump into these markets, and it absolutely played me. And best believe I was not the only one. I'm pretty sure you guys did it too. And that's all because we're so fascinated by this new idea of making money. Imagine going from a 9 to 5 job to knowing that you can make money from your phone. Of course, you're going to be gassed. And of course, you want to start that making money process as soon as possible. And because of that, I was taken out the game so many different times, all because I didn't actually give time to learning. There's lots of education out there, but look, for me, there was no one who could actually teach me the stuff I know now. There's free education, there's paid education. I opted for the paid version because I was serious about learning to trade Forex. I invested into it, and so I was committed to it. If you guys want education, go ahead and hit that link in my description. It's currently 40% off my Forex course, and that is the ideal course for any single beginner slash intermediate trader. Another thing I would change about what I would have done back in the day is I wouldn't have taken signals. So in my very early days of trading, one of the reasons that I didn't give enough time to learning how to trade was because I was also taking signals at the time. And I'm not gonna lie, on my very first trade, I think my very first trade was like a loss because I didn't really know what I was doing. And it was like a really small loss, maybe like 10, 15 pounds. But then my second trade was about 300 pounds. Once you go from making a couple of £100 doing a 9 to 5 job a day to being able to make that on your phone within 30 minutes, your mind is blown. And so that's all I could see. I was so focused on earning that the learning wasn't happening properly. When you're focused on the earning part of it, and you're trying to do your bits to do in the learning, you will be heavily distracted. You won't be able to retain that information that you need that's going to progress your trading. Whether it's £50, a few £100, a few grand, whatever it is, you're going to be so focused on that, you're not even going to give learning that much attention. The signals didn't even bang, they were on and off. Imagine when the signals are on and off, my emotions are all over the place at the same time. And imagine you just taking a bad signal and you're trying to learn. It doesn't work. You're going to be ticked off at the chart. You're not going to be able to retain the information you need that's going to push you forward in your trading. You don't know the emotions that that person's going through who is sending the signals. They could be having a bad day and they're just, they're just in the charts trying to force a trade and they send out a signal and then it's a flop. You don't even know that. So there's so many things that go into that whole signal sending as well. So I would not be taking signals. And another thing I would do differently is I wouldn't trade live funds. And this kind of ties into the whole signal trading as well. Like I said, with signal taking, it's a distraction to your learning. I was so quick to trade live funds. I traded live funds after a week. And like I've told you guys before, I was able to double my account. I started off with a grand, doubled it to near about 2Gs. I'm hitting like £300 a trade, £400 a trade, £200 a trade. And so that, to me, I was like, wow, I've just found heaven. This is just amazing right now. So you're telling me I've been working this 9 to 5 job, earning a certain amount of money, and now look, I've just earned a couple £100 right now, all because of the signal. And then because of that, what I did was I started to load up on trades. And this is another thing I would change about my earlier trading days. I used to load up in so many different positions. And so when I won a big amount. But when I lost, I also blew my account. I blew my account so many times. They all stemmed from trading live accounts. And because I traded those live accounts, it then set me up for blowing multiple accounts in the future. So I wouldn't even dare touch live funds. Someone actually reached out to me and said that they are a beginner. They're getting into this thing. They are new to this thing. They dabbled in the demo account and now they want to be trading live. I said, hell no. Don't you dare touch that live account. You're nowhere near ready to touch a live account because it will set you up to blow multiple accounts in the future. So don't even think about touching a live account until when you've understood how the markets are moving. Another thing I would change about my trading journey is I would actually give time to back testing. It's such an easy thing to say, you should just be back testing. But really and truly, you know yourself and you know how much time you've given to back testing. Did I back test? You must be joking. I didn't backtest for nobody. I didn't even know you even had to backtest. And so that was a very key part that I missed out on in my early days of trading. When I say backtesting, I don't mean spending time on your demo account. Spending time on your demo account is not backtesting. What I mean by backtesting is, so you pick a concept first, then you go back into the charts and see how whatever you're looking at is playing out over time. And so let's just say, for example, let's just say you're looking at down close candles, and you can see that whenever price taps into a down close candle, it pushes away from it. And then 6 times out of 10, it works. I know that 6 times out of 10, it works, and the return is a lot more than the losses. So I'm going to be confident whenever price taps into a institutional candle. If I could see it happen multiple times, I would have been able to develop some kind of belief system around what I'm seeing, and that would have made me more confident in my trading. So when people come up to me and start saying how they're nervous to enter a trade, have you back tested enough? The next thing I would do differently is I would also forward test. So this is where I actually go into the demo account after back testing for a period of time. I now have developed a belief system around what I've back tested. Now I'm going to go ahead and forward test what I'm seeing. So that's me going into the live current market, not a live account, but the current market, current price action, and actually looking about getting into demo account trades. I've back tested, I believe in what I'm seeing now, and now I'm going to go and implement it on the charts. You only go to that stage where you're forward testing once you're confident and happy with what you're seeing. You're never going to get a perfect strategy. You're never going to get a 10 out of 10 strategy. It works every time. You're not going to get a strategy like that. Another thing I would change is I wouldn't have traded large lot sizes at the very beginning. Because I was exposed to how much money you could make in Forex, I got way too excited and I decided to trade lot sizes that my account couldn't handle for at least a whole year. And what I mean by that is, for example, I had a £1,000 account and I was trading lot sizes like 4.5 lots. I just absolutely going crazy. The typical retail stop loss was about 30 pips. So my losses were about £200 to £300 on the low side, and to the top side, it was a couple of £100 to 4 figures. So that was me risking around 30% of my account per trade. What I should have done is I should have risked 1% per trade. I should have been humble and I should have earned the right to trade larger lot sizes. In that whole year, I blew so many different accounts because of that. All because I was exposed to trading large lot sizes and getting high returns. And because I'd seen that, that's all I wanted to do. And so regardless of what my account size was, I will be literally blowing my account in 3 trades every single time. And this goes back to what I said in the very beginning. The whole learning and earning thing at the same time is an absolute joke, because you get exposed to things before you are ready for that. And when you're exposed to things early, you misuse it, you abuse it, you do all kinds of stuff to it. That was me abusing the market. The market is not your best friend. The market will play you at every single opportunity it gets to do that. The very last thing I'll do, this is a no-brainer for us now, but what I used to do back in the day is I used to trade news. So whenever news was about to be released, I would do the whole set your buy stops and sell stops 10 pips away from current price or 20 pips away from current price, and then I would trade news. That was an absolute joke. Don't ever do that. That's not a strategy that you can bank on. You're practically gambling. You don't know where price is going. You're trying to do some kind of breakout trading, but ultimately you are gambling. And you know, gamblers never win. So this is why it's so important to backtest a strategy, backtest a concept, develop a strategy around those concepts, and then go ahead and forward test that and use that instead of doing something like trading news. You know, news could just whipsaw, go up and down real quick. I used to blow my account trading news as well. And so if there's anyone out there who's telling you to trade news, run as far as you can from them, because you're probably going to blow multiple accounts if you stick to that style of trading. Take this information, chop it up, and run with it. Peace.